Come nearer, my darling. First and foremost, know that you are noticed. When you press your forehead on my warm fingers, you are seen by a heart that has been watching you from the start, not by chance, by circumstance, or by the randomness of a fleeting act of generosity. I have listened to the rhythm of your breath in the middle of the night, walked with you in the silence before morning, and tenderly recorded every little act of charity you showed when it would have been simpler to turn a blind eye. I bear the weight you do, so don't think I miss it. I've carried it. I am aware of the titles of those anxieties, yet there are times when the sky seems too heavy, and the future seems like a series of what-ifs. Fear talks in a voice that sounds like reason, but tastes like ash, and stress strikes like a robber in the night, a version of you that the world admires, but not necessarily the one that rests in holiness, might be reflected in the weird mirror of success. Opportunities present themselves in a variety of ways, and sometimes you have come to mistrust the call. Relationships where it seems that only the bold and honest would patch. Friendship has wounded in the past, and development has come at a price. I'm not unfamiliar with them. I understand the language of your silent prayers, because I have been there myself, in the depths of fatigue. Listen, your tale doesn't stop here. Even though it may seem fleeting, this moment is a part of a bigger plan that I have already etched into your days. I have fixed your hour, but I don't have to rush you. I am the carpenter who fortifies the beam, the doctor who sutures the scar, the gardener who cares to the root, and I am not a faraway clock watcher. TRIALS have shaped you so that you won't crumble under the weight of compassion when it comes. Known of your unspoken affection, little acts of kindness or reciprocated generosity have been forgotten. Each has been placed in the treasury of heaven, and I am not using that money to heal you and unlock doors that your hands alone were unable to open. But pay attention, dear. There will be trials to purify you, not to embarrass you. The whetstone for clarity is pressure. Fear will speak deceptive tales about your future, and value and stress will knock on your door. When success comes, it will demand your heart as payment. Shortcuts that seem to be merciful, but are really fake, will be provided to you. I grant you insight to recognize what is really from me, eyes to see and ears to hear. The angels who surround you, yes, I send them, are keeping watch, lining up steps, shutting doorways that might lead to compromise, and opening others. Never be shocked when possibilities for protection present themselves in the form of inconvenience. Kind words from a friend or random acts of kindness. My messengers often arrive in modest packaging. I want you to incorporate certain things into your life. Now, not as a show, but as a posture consistent, straightforward and persistent prayer, boundaries that safeguard your soul and your calling, thankfulness that becomes a daily habit, and obedient little deeds that eventually become your testimony. Practice addressing your own concerns with the truth. Say a brief, sincere prayer in response to stress. Lord, I need you. This is not weakness, rather. It is real strength. Take a little. Trusting step forward when fear makes you want to back off. On my heart and recall your beginning. When success shines, I'll bring assistance. I will bring those whose presence will be stable, whose words will be both challenging and refreshing, and whose wounds have taught them how to be kind. Before you read their bios, you will recognize them by the calm that fills your chest. They will arrive and remain. They will be honest, but they won't be flawless. They will speak truth that frees. They won't flatter to get in. Slowly but surely let them in. Don't assume that their presence signifies my complete disclosure. They're not the room. They're doors, and express gratitude when their presence eases stress. Receive their advice when it is consistent with my message and the silent little witness inside of you. If their advice is unclear, stop and ask me again. I have given you scriptures, and my spirit will not contradict them. Make the Bible your primary guide. My child, walk boldly in faith and love. With your super Thanksgiving $5, let the truth of my word reach those who long for the light. Join me in this divine mission to heal and uplift. Click on the Super Thanksgiving button and be enveloped in my grace now. And listen to this message further. The adversary will attempt to fake these presents dear. He will portray flattery as dedication, and hurry as insight. He'll ask you to hide things that will make you feel alone by taking where it should support. He will try to make the assistance seem like a bleed. Develop the skill of holy suspicion by bringing matters to the attention of prayer and dependable people whose character you can specify when they seem too important or need to be kept secret. Don't let fear act as your gatekeeper. Fear is a powerful sentinel that may sometimes keep you little and other times safe. Ask me for the measure of imprisonment and the amount of dread that protects. Listen now to the statements I make over you, not because they are magical, but rather because they are truths infused into your life. The seasons you have experienced will not define you. Your previous perseverance will now serve as the basis for success. I'll plant lily where bitterness attempted to create a garden out of your heart. Community will become your environment. Even if you believe loneliness would be your last destination, grace will fill you up when you thought you had nothing left to offer. Both relaxation and action are part of your future. You will need the former to refuel and the latter to properly care for the treasures I have given you. You are a steward of a narrative that the skies will read with delight. You are not a victim of the past. There will be instances of odd provision, such as a word at the appropriate time, an unexpected check, or a door opening when there was previously just a wall. These aren't just coincidences. Angels are sent by me to clear the path. Sometimes they show up as hands on individuals who prepare meals or do laundry while preaching a message of love. Sometimes they show up as mentors who see what you can't yet see, as friends who just listen and fix you by listening, or as ideas that change the way you operate. Consider them to be indicators. Move when you see alignment and pattern. Say yes when you experience a lingering calm. But never forget to put me first. Everything wonderful that comes your way passes through my hands. You'll be tempted to think that the goodwill you experience has to be earned. Listen to me, my love is given, not earned. The assistants I send are sent because I care about you, not because of how well you perform without a ledger. Receive gratitude as the attitude that respects grace, not because you owe anything, but because what you get has an impact on others. Lift someone else when they lift you. Show compassion when you get it. This isn't a transaction. This is the economics of my kingdom. Sometimes you'll wonder why that person. Why now have faith in things you can't track down? These links were forged by me long before you saw them. I have prepared their hearts for your trip by observing tests. Their setbacks and victories have turned into a kind of practice, so that their experience would help you recover when they finally meet you. Some will just stay for a season, take what they have to offer, and then bless them and let them leave. Others will join you as covenantal friends. Treat them with kindness. Being wise will enable you to distinguish between the two. I will now dress your inner scars, dear. You were not forgotten. Being silent did not equate to being inconsequential. I leaned in when the world refused to give you a round of applause. Your little deeds of faith were recorded in the heavenly ledger. A time will come when what was formerly hidden will become a kind of public benevolence. Doors will open for your assignment rather than for your validation. Seek my alignment rather than the plot it's being given. Influence for service is not the same as being exalted for one's own glory. Allow humility to accompany you if you become famous. Let your commitment to morality serve as your compass if you are successful. Additionally, I caution you, and I caution you with love, that there will be little storms in the future that will put the integrity of what you create to the test. Your delight will be squeezed into a thinner object by stress. You will see pictures of failure when you are afraid. The illusion of self-sufficiency will be created by success. Relationships will strain against unrepaired rifts. This is to get you ready, not to scare you. Develop resilience by establishing routines, such as morning prayer, frank check-ins with friends in the middle of the week, a Sabbath that feels like a haven, and boundaries that safeguard your family and your ministry. When it comes to saying no, learn to do it gently and as an act of devotion rather than avoidance. In the school of lengthy obedience, rest is a mandatory punishment. If you feel that this message is reaching your spirit, type 1, receive. Expect helpers who return calls, people who remember little dates and keep their word about little things. Laughter that returns gradually but steadily. Clarity that helps you choose the next faithful step. And provision before you ask. Sometimes a quiet answering of need, because heaven has already set the supply. These are some of the practical promises I will give you, beloved, to hold like keys. These aren't just dreams at work. They are my nature, however. They often show up in the form of useful things, like planned encounters, that develop into long-term partnerships, a mentor's introductions that open doors you did not notice, or a simple lunch from a neighbor that becomes a connection that lasts. Don't undervalue the commonplace. Holiness often wears commonplace shoes. And now I want to firmly warn you against fake comfort. I am not the source of anything that demands that you compromise your morals in order to get instant solace. It's not my gift to do anything that keeps you from getting good advice. In the sake of closeness, anything that demands that you forego your hunger in favor of sleep in order to be productive will steal your testimony. Voices who promise quick solutions will lure you. Go back to the languid, dependable voice of Scripture and prayer. Bring it into the prayer amphitheater. When in doubt, when making important judgments, get a second opinion from a reliable source. I am the creator of strategy. I have no allergy to planning. However, my approach is linked to love, to wisdom, patience, and kindness. Every action you do to live an honest life, such as identifying your weaknesses, seeking assistance, and establishing sound boundaries, is a step in the holy fight. Wounds are not anything to be ashamed of. Rather, they are sites where I might heal and experience resurrection. You have experienced a little resurrection when you are honest about how exhausted you are, and someone reacts steadily. You are not demonstrating ineptitude when you let someone assist you with menial tasks because you are exhausted. Rather, you are creating space for recovery. The foundation for a new season is laid by modest acts of integrity. Please don't forget who you are. You are not an issue that has to be resolved before you can be loved. Now you are adored. You are not a list of things to do in order to get value. Your value comes before your performance, and you are adored. Your strongest defense against the falsehoods that attempt to manipulate you, for love will be this truth: I am a father who takes in the prodigal and prepares a meal. I am not a God who hides my face when you fail. Thus set your heart in that order. Worship before work, rest before labor, receive before giving. This rhythm will alter your way of living. Don't let fear convince you that stillness equates to emptiness. My darling, for you silence has been my workshop. The quietness of the world sharpen some of your most sensitive muscles. I didn't leave you in the silence Instead, you had to lean in to hear my exact thin voice. You learned to hear me in that leaning. You have the proper questions. You have a tolerance for truth that comes only from stillness. Seasons of seclusion are nothing to be embarrassed of. They were my training present. Some friends may arrive as quickly as spring rain, while others will arrive more gradually, like tree roots. Both are stunning. Some will hold you in their tender hands, while others will impart wisdom. Let the area that was frozen thaw by accepting warmth. Let accountability control the urges that would push you in the direction of undeserved approbation. In my realm, friendship is often kind-hearted in its aim and harsh in its reality. Don't be shocked if true friends correct you, not to minimize you, but to bring you back in line with reality. When you start walking with helpers, something important happens. You'll start to define success in a new way. Success in the economy of heaven is determined by loyalty, the number of wounds healed, and the intensity of love that permeates your being, rather than by a position or a number. Accept it with gratitude if the world cheers. Let criticism go by like a breeze over meadows. Don't let public acclaim anchor your spirit. Be anchored in faithfulness. Instead of holding on to fleeting likes and shares, let your heart be content when you hear "well done, good and faithful." Regarding relationships, I'll assure you that people will know you, not in a superficial sense, but in meaningful ways. You will be remembered for your bravery and your exhaustion, for your big obedience and your little acts of kindness. You'll be remembered for persevering when it would have been simpler to give up. Resources, both material and spiritual, will accompany this knowledge. Advocates who open doors of favor, friends who support you during times of loneliness, and mentors who pray into your vocation. Steward doors when they open. Continue to be humble, express your thanks verbally. Give thanks to those who encourage you. Blessed are those who praise you. However, I also advise you to protect your heart. It comes from indiscriminate giving, not love. There are times to be charitable, and times to be wisely famous. Don't let everyone tell you what to do next. Seek advice, examine motivations. Make wise contributions, yes. Love is giving, but it's also sage. A wise individual ensures that gifts endure, and that generosity is a constant flame, rather than a flash bulb, by giving not just out of compassion, but also out of stewardship. Now I'll talk about your hope. Hope is not a mythical, unattainable thing. Hope is a force of the present. Your muscles twitch with hope. A desire for little devoted deeds is fostered by hope. Grow at praise and appreciating. Even the slightest victories should be used to feed it. A triumph is achieved when you get out of bed and decide to put your faith in God. Instead of giving up, progress is made when you decide to call a friend. Rather than withdrawing honor these, the adversary would try to convince. You that only large gestures are important. No, they don't. Destiny is created by the stable, dependable things. Let me state certain facts that will serve as your skeleton. I share your everyday experiences when the coffee spills and the meeting drags on. I'm with you when the rent is due and the baby wakes up. I'm with you. I'll be there when you restart, without providing you with minor tasks to practice. I will not send you to accomplish large things. When you take care of it, I'll let you sleep too. Avoid pursuing activity as a sign of favor. Activity and vocation are not the same thing. Work energizes you, whereas activity wears you out. Find out from me what I have asked you to do today, then do it with love. The adversary will sometimes pass off dread as reality. It's a sophisticated craft. You cannot do this because of this and because of that. He will say, respond with the truth. Give an example that demonstrates my loyalty. Give me a brief example that I previously addressed. Attach yourself to it, move in tandem with the Spirit's testimony that you feel in your chest. Often courage is a little move that is repeated until it becomes second nature. Take a little action that gets you closer to the call. Compose a paragraph, make a single phone call. Say a single sincere prayer. Tiny steps add up to a lot of power. Angels are working, have faith. They address what I have ordered for you, but they don't take the place of the decisions you have to make. They stand at thresholds and sometimes prod people's emotions to make your route easier. Know that an angel has been at work. Whenever you perceive an unanticipated favor, a timely message, or a door opening that you did not push, express gratitude. Angels sometimes appear and then disappear after completing their mission. They sometimes persist and turn into human allies. Be thankful and sober-minded in how you react to the blessings they provide. Don't be afraid of them. Your love and support mean everything to us as we continue sharing God's message of hope, faith, and blessings. If this message has touched your heart, we humbly invite you to show your gratitude by giving at least $11. Super thanks are your choice each month. Whoever can give super thanks, please give as much as possible. And whoever cannot, please try to read this message completely. Your generosity helps us create more uplifting content that inspires souls and brings people closer to God. By clicking the Super Thanks button below, you're not just supporting our work, you're becoming a part of this divine mission to spread God's love to those who need it most. Thank you for your kindness. Stay blessed, stay joyful, and may God's grace always be with you. Transparency with a trusted friend. A weekly soul inventory, a Sabbath that holds you. Prayer every morning and night. Fasting when you feel stuck. Not to manipulate, but to listen. And frequent small acts of confession and forgiveness are some practical habits that I encourage you to adopt in order to protect fruit. Confession is about opening your eyes to perceive grace, not about being humiliated. To forgive is to reject the slow poison of resentment, not to forget. You create room for healing. When you provide forgiveness, you maintain your heart's flexibility and teachability. When you routinely own up to your mistakes, no matter how big or minor, I will also be straightforward when discussing finances and provisions. Seasons of plenty and seasons of scarcity will occur. Both are educational institutions. Learn to be satisfied and creatively dependent on me. In times of shortage, learn generosity and stewardship and plenty. Avoid hoarding, give with joy in your heart. Overflow, not scarcity, is the economics of paradise. If an unexpected gift comes your way, use prayer to manage it. Donate what is blessed. Pay what heals and preserve wisely in a different way. The hands that share are the ones that remain full of happiness, thankfulness, and purpose. You'll be tempted to use success to define who you are. Don't attach humility to success if it materializes. When the crowd erupts in applause, your first reaction should be gratitude to the person who bestowed the gift, rather than pride in possessing it. When you open a door, keep in mind that it was opened for purposes other than your own. Maintain the servant's stance. It will keep you safe in every rich soul of success. Pride will attempt to grow like a weed. Swiftly pull it out with introspection and the advice of those who care about you enough to tell the truth. When it comes to relationships, keep in mind this simple guideline. Become closer to those who help you. Seek Christ more clearly when it leads you to holiness. Intimacy with others may be holy. Love is suspicious if it does not make you more like God. Truth must be in line with friendship. A friendship is not from me if it fosters immorality, envy, or petty pride. My grace is seen when a partner helps you grow in holiness by being kind, patient, and honest. Look for friends whose presence uplifts you and whose prayers provide you peace. I now offer you statements to live by. Say them out loud with confidence. I am chosen. I am spotted. My history will not determine who I am. I enter a season of consistent growth, dependable assistance, and restorative rest. The stars are in my favor for my objective. Doors open because the Lord is my portion. Fear will not devour my heart. I'm going to be thankful and give from the bottom of my heart. I'll get assistance, and in doing so, I'll become better. I will go with the one who never departs, and with dependable friends. Keep in mind that miracles don't always seem like lightning. A faithful friend may sometimes be a miracle. A bill paid in an unexpected method might sometimes be considered a miracle when you don't have the energy to start. Sometimes a miracle is the fortitude to do the next low thing, anticipate my splendor in the routine, and my touch in the everyday. react when you see a pattern, or sense a calm that has been established. When the peace tells to move, move. When peace tells to rest, relax. There will be times when pruning is required. These won't be comfortable. There will be times in your life when people leave. Projects will come to an end. Doors will shut. Pruning, however, is a means of preparing for bigger fruit, not a form of punishment. Don't get angry when a door shuts. What will I plant in that fresh soul? You ask because it prevents a smaller item from obstructing a bigger benefit. A shutting may sometimes be the greatest act of love. Have faith in my time. Make thankfulness a daily sacrament. Every morning, list 3 things that demonstrate my faithfulness. Name to nighttime lessons you learn about kindness. Make thankfulness the theme of your day. It is a minor discipline that requires desire to focus on plenty rather than lack. Gratitude develops a spiritual perspective that rapidly identifies favor. If you want to accept the following action, I ask of you, type 1, receive this now. Your charity will be put to the test by certain individuals. They could take and not return. It will hurt. It takes intelligence to be generous, but it doesn't demand approval. Consider if giving is facilitating damage or promoting healing. When it leaves you feeling depleted, avoid using guilt as a yardstick for giving. Allow discernment to lead the way. While certain seasons demand conservative provision, others call for extreme generosity. I shall now talk about courage. Dear, courage is the presence of faith, rather than the absence of fear. When the map is uncertain, courage moves on with me. Courage keeps appearing. After saying the little prayers, courage goes about their day. I'll give you the confidence to go forward. Sometimes bravery comes in the form of a whisper, and other times it comes as a sudden relief from a heavy chest. A trumpet blast is not something to wait for. Frequently I cry out to you in a little kind voice, urging you to get up. Seasons of acceleration are to be expected. There will be moments when a lot of things come together and things move more quickly. Establish spiritual patterns today, such as prayer, sage advice, and rest to prevent burnout. When the time comes for acceleration, rest-induced growth is beneficial, but exhaustion-induced growth will break. Now construct the framework. I have one more thing to say about identity. Dear, you are my kid. Your core is that. Let everything else be an extension of that reality. Your roles, responsibilities, and connections may vary, but my position above you remains constant. Say to the wind, I am a child of God. When the storms approach, and I own this. Remember the magnitude of the one who calls you by name. When you feel little, days of sadness will come in waves like tidal ones. Don't act like everything is okay on such days. Deliver then to me, weep. Give up the burden. Many people believe that religion requires constant joy. But this is untrue. Honesty is a prerequisite for faith. Bring your unadulterated self-healing moves. When you're honest, I won't chastise you for crying. I'll join you on your knees as you mourn. The angels will sometimes stand close by and keep watch. Be thankful for every helping hand that comes your way, and don't be afraid of them. You will see advancement that is not consistent with the world's chronology. In my kingdom, maturity, firmness of heart, and the ability to love beyond convenience are often used to gauge progress. Honor such milestones. Remember that my methods do not suit the world. Stop watch when you are tempted to make comparisons. I am patient with the procedure. Have patience with yourself. There will also be times when temptation masquerades as achievement. People will justify little concessions as essential. Don't give in to the temptation. Rapid profits that compromise integrity are really little losses that are passed off as profits. Remain loyal, patient. Commitment has a reward that the fast game cannot buy. Now I'll offer you a practice routine. At the beginning of every week, put down 3 loyal chores that you can complete regularly, not big goals. Offer your prayers for them. Review honestly at the conclusion of the week. Honor your accomplishments. Plan again and provide everything that was overlooked without feeling guilty. This practice protects you from the tyranny of perfection and keeps you honest. There will be miracles, some mild, some spectacular. Name it as soon as it happens. Inform someone, express gratitude. Allow your testimony to deepen someone else's faith. Miracles are indicators that my love is close by, not simply spectacular displays. Continue the narrative. Speaking grace out loud creates a space where people may find hope. The balance of your friendships will be adjusted. A few will ascend to a more profound covenant. Some will leave in silence. Both are recovering. Sometimes endings are the clearing before a harvest. So don't be afraid of them. Have the courage to cut off connections that detract from your purity. Hold those who cure you with tenderness. You'll be tempted to keep tiny in order to shield your old wounds. Don't accept that safety. Little leaps of faith that seem stupid before they bear fruit are necessary for growth. This month, make one courageous decision. A meeting to discuss your goal, a chat to mend a pain, or a prayer that answers yes. I will support your courageous decision and provide you blessings for your obedience. Lastly, I offer you my blessing. May your heart remain stable. You could get assistance in ways that uphold your dignity. I hope you end up at the table laughing. May loyal people support you, and may angels guard your journey. I hope that love will be your yardstick for achievement, and that you get as much sleep as you do. I won't leave you unfinished. I'll complete what I've begun in you. In the following level, you are never by yourself. I stand behind you, I walk before you, and my presence screams protection all around you. Breathe now, breathe in the veracity of my statements. Proceed with holy haste, the sort that maintains a balance between perseverance and relaxation rather than in a hurry. Angels, smart doors, and an assistant have all been set by me. Keep an eye out for indicators, but above all, keep an eye out for peace. When the peace tells to move, move. When peace tells to rest, relax. Hold these words, beloved. Talk about them often. Let them serve as your light source, and continue walking hand in hand with the one who calls you names. You sends assistance to your side and loves you unconditionally. Rise with hope, my darling. I go before you, I stand on your side. Angels watch over you, rest in my love. Walk bravely, ask for aid, and be grateful. Your tale is not yet complete. I am creating a brand new one. Breathe, trust, and obey. I'll take you home, always a hummin'. Please subscribe to support our channel and turn on bell notification.